everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Dimma here. Today's video is going to be an easy, everyday, like the title says, makeup tutorial for hot weather. I feel like we're at that time of the year when the rest of the world can relate with Africa. It's hot. Most of the time it's hot here, but then it's a lot warmer in most places and people are looking for these type of tutorials. So I was like, I'm going to give you guys one. I've done a makeup tutorial for hot weather before, and I've done a makeup tutorial, like everyday makeup tutorial before. So this is just going to be like me merging the two. My last makeup tutorial for hot weather, I had quite the eyeshadow look on there. And in all honesty, everyday makeup looks for me don't involve that much eyeshadow. We're going to get to it right now, okay? For this look, the first thing that I'm going to do is prime my face all over. I'm going to be using my Too Faced Cooling Matte Perfecting Primer. I love this primer a lot. It controls oil for me so well. I have oily skin, by the way, so just bear that in mind while watching this. So this is going to help control oil, which is really, really important, because if you produce a lot of oil and you're out in the sun or like just out doing strenuous activity, just know that you have to do something to at least keep the oil at bay. That helps a lot. So this is going to help control oil for me. So the next thing that I'm going to do is set my entire face. This is the Beauty Bakery Flour Setting Powder, and this one is in yellow, okay? I'm going to take a powder puff and I'm going to pat this all over my face. This just ensures that, you know, the oil doesn't come through as quickly as it would on a normal day. The primer is going to like do its thing and work, but most of the times, no matter how good the primer is, this is from personal experience, I found that good primers can only do so much. With this particular step, I'd highly recommend that you don't take the powder and do this, like do something like this. You want to just take your time and pat this powder into the skin. This is just like a second layer of insurance. Some people like to do their brows last, some people like to do it first, some people like to do it after foundation. I like to do it first. I'm going to fill my brows in real quick. If you want to see a detailed eyebrow routine from me, I am going to have it linked above. So click that and it will take you to that eyebrow tutorial. To fill my brows in, I'll be using the Colourpop eyebrow pencil. This is the eyebrow pencil, and this is in Banging Brunette. This is one of my favorite eyebrow pencils of all time, and it's not that expensive. So I'm going to fill my brows in real quick. So once I'm done filling my brows in with a pencil, I'm going to go in with ABH's Brow Powder Duo. This one is in dark brown. It looks like this. I'm going to go in with the darker shade, this one here. And this is the Sephora Brow Pro brush. You can use any type of angled brush that you have for this. So I'm going to take this dark brown powder and I'm just going to use it to set my brows. So I'm going to pop it, especially just concentrate on applying this in all the places where I just have like blank spaces, if that makes sense. If you're oily like me, one thing that happens to you once you start getting oily plus the heat and all of that is that your brows start looking waxy, almost like they were painted on. So this basically just serves as an extra layer of powder to prevent that from happening. I'm going to use my MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NW40, looks like this. I'm going to use this to define my brows. So I'm going to take that concealer downwards. This is going to help when it comes to blending. It's going to make blending out a lot easier for me. With a short blending brush, I'm going to blend this concealer out. So once I'm done with blending, I'm going to set my brows with a brow gel. This also helps a lot. So this is the NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel. So just going to use this to comb through my brows. This is just going to help set your brows and just like lock it in. Ever since I started doing this, I've noticed that my brows they never have that whole painted on waxy look. Even when like I'm hot and oily and my face is oily, my brows always look intact. And that whole like waxy painted on brow look is very, very common with people who have sparse brows. Like my brows are not that sparse, but then they're not that full. And it's very obvious if you don't have a lot of brow hairs. Doing this just helps a lot. I'm going to go on ahead and prime my eyes. This is my MAC 24-hour Extend Eye Base. This is going to prevent oil from just seeping through. When I used my foundation primer initially, I didn't apply it on my lid space. And this is because I produce a lot of oil in this area. The foundation primer can work for you, but I've just never taken the risk. I like to use a good like proper eyeshadow primer, and this will help like just block or prevent whatever oil you'd normally have in this area. I'm going to set that primer with some powder. Going to go back in with the concealer, the one that I used to define my brows. And this time around, I am going to take a blending brush, like a flat top blending brush. This one is from Evita Joseph. You guys can see the shape. So I'm going to bring this concealer like proper into my eye area, even on my lid space. A lot of us, especially people who are around my complexion, even lighter, darker, we tend to have a little bit of discoloration in the eye area. For a lot of people, it's just on the lids. For some people, it goes from here into this area here. I don't have a lot here, but this is just going to help even out this area here so that it looks like I have like a proper blank canvas and there's no like obvious discoloration or anything. There are some concealers that you would use for this and you wouldn't even need to set them with powder. One would be the like Makeup Revolution concealer that dries matte. This MAC Studio Finish doesn't dry matte like that, so I'm going to go in with some setting powder again, and I'm just going to use it to set this entire area. Okay, I want to say something real quick, because when it comes to like everyday makeup tutorials like this, especially if the makeup has like everyday on it and then people come and then see you doing like, I don't know, doing like the regular steps, but just know that in most cases these type of videos are just those steps reduced. There really isn't any way to magically get flawless foundation, contoured, highlighted and all of that. Like you still have to do the foundation and do it very well, but I feel like these steps are not that much. If you give yourself 15-20 minutes, just wake up earlier and you can do this. Honestly, I don't think that this is something that should take you this long. I'm breaking it down and explaining it in detail. That's why, you know, it might look like it's going to take long, but just know that if you do this, do it again, fam, you should be able to do this in about 15-20 minutes, okay? So I'm going to move on to foundation. This is my Fenty Beauty foundation, and with this foundation, I'm in the shade 420. This is the Pro Filter foundation. Guys, I've been squeezing this for a while. I don't know if it's broken or something. I don't know why it's not pumping, okay? I think that my pump is broken, so I'm just going to go in and do it this way because I don't have an option, so I had to open it to pour some out. I've never had issues with the pump when it comes to this foundation, so I'm not sure what is going on right now. I have this much on my hand, so I'm just going to pack this onto my face. The reason I am using this foundation is because this is one of those foundations that you can layer it to get coverage, but then it feels very light on the skin. I just prefer this type of feeling, especially if I'm going to sweat or if it's going to be really hot outside. I want something that doesn't sit heavy on my skin, and this foundation is like, it does not sit heavy on the skin at all. I'm going to take some of that foundation down into this area here. One quick thing, when it comes to foundations that match me to the T, like to the T, neutral foundation that matches me, because my undertone is a lot more neutral than it is red, not yellow at all. So if there's no neutral, I would most likely use a foundation with red undertone. I can get away with using that. But when it comes to like neutral foundations that match me to the T, okay, especially if you use me as shade reference, I would say the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter foundation in 420 is like my exact skin tone. For me, the one foundation with a red undertone that I can get away with using like on a daily basis is Maxio Fix Fluid in NW45, just so you know. So going to move on to concealer. This is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. This is the very affordable concealer, and it gives all my other high-end concealers like a serious run for the money. It is so good. To contour, I'll be using the Huda Beauty Tantour in medium. It looks like this. So going back in with some powder, and I am going to use this to set my immediate under eye area. So moving on, I am going to apply just one eyeshadow. So this eyeshadow here is like a very nice reddish brown. It looks like this. So going to go in with my MAC 224, and I am going to take this brown and apply it in this area here. If you have a deep set crease, you don't have to do this at all. I wish I had one of those, but then mine aren't that defined, prominent. My crease is not that, I don't even know the word. You guys know what I'm saying by now. So I just have to just create the illusion. That's what I'm doing now. You can also use your contour powder for this. Whatever powder that you use to set the contour parts of your face, you can use that to do this as well, so that you don't even have to use eyeshadow at all, period. You guys can see that my eye area doesn't look flat anymore because it looked very, very flat, especially after I applied the concealer in that area. It just looked flat. I'm going to apply some mascara. This is my Clinique high length mascara. Going to pop on a pair of lashes real quick. So want to say something real quick. If you prefer, or if you just prefer the look that eyeliner gives you, or if you like to use wing liner but you just don't have the time to use it on a daily basis, I'd highly recommend that maybe you skip the liner and go with a pair of lashes that wing out. So lashes that just start out just normal here and then get a lot longer towards the end. You should go for those because they give your eyes the same shape, the same illusion that you're going for without the stress of eyeliner. So just pop on a pair of lashes real quick. At this point, false lashes are no longer that difficult for me to apply. I know that a lot of us still struggle with it. So all I would say is just that practice makes perfect. So just keep practicing till it becomes easy. You have to keep doing it over and over again. And before you know it, it's like nothing to you. But for me, at this point, I feel or strongly believe that falsies are a lot easier for me than winged eyeliner, like liquid winged eyeliner. Yeah, I'd rather do this. So this is what I'm going to do. Apply this now. I'm going to line my waterline a little bit. Okay, just a tiny little bit. You guys can see that I didn't smudge. One thing that I think I'm going to do is I am going to smudge that same eyeshadow that I applied earlier on my crease. I'm going to just apply a little bit of it on my lower lash line, just a tiny little bit. Some mascara on my bottom lashes. So I'm going to dust off the excess powder that I have on my face. I'm going to set the contoured parts of my face with a bronzing powder from Flori. This is their bronzing powder in medium, okay? My Iman pressed powder in earth medium. I think I'm going to use this as well. Going to apply some blush. This is the ABH Blush Tour in Cocktail Party. So I'm going to mix these two here. So I'm going to highlight with my favorite highlighter at the moment. This is from RLG, from the Wet Palette. This highlighter here in Dawn, okay? Going to line my lips real quick. This is my Morphe lip liner pencil in, I think, bar. I don't know. I've had this for such a long time. I think the shade is Bars. It's the dark brown. On my lips, I'm going to use these two lip colors. These are the Vivid Hot Lacquers from Maybelline. So I'm going to use Too Cute 66, which is this pink one here, and then 60 Teas, which is like a lighter version of that. So to finish things up, I am going to spray some setting spray on my face. I've heard a lot of people talk about this. I happen to be in the not half, I don't even know if we're up to half, that actually like this. I like this a lot. I especially love the way that it smells. I agree with a lot of people who say that this has a lot of alcohol in it. If you have a cut on your face, it's going to stink. However, does this hold your makeup? It holds your makeup. I love the way that it smells, you know, honestly. I don't think that it's too strong. I'll buy a perfume if the perfume smells like this setting spray. That's how much I love the smell. But I know that some people don't like it, but I like it. I like to use setting spray twice for this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back in with some powder, and I'm just going to dab this on my face gently, just to kind of lock that setting spray in, okay? And then after that, I'm going to do another light just spritz of this setting spray. So I hope that this helped, and I hope that you guys found it easy as well. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. I'll see you guys in my next one. Mwah.